We are getting an even earlier start this morning. And the sunrise looks like it's going to be promising. It's actually not going to be coming up over the railing for another 5 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. A lot can change. Sometimes you think it's going to be great and it turns out it just sort of fizzles out. Other times you think, it's not going to be nothing, and then all of a sudden it just explodes. Anyway, yesterday was rather a funny day for me, in my videoing, that is. We got part of this electric drill made, and today we'll do more of it. I don't know if we'll get it finished or not, but I think what I better do is I'll just roll back to yesterday, and I'll show you what happened yesterday afternoon that normally I would have had on yesterday's video. And then we'll get back to this thing. Okay, I pushed record a moment ago, and about that time, a fire truck decides to go down the street. Not our street, but about 2 blocks away, but it sure was loud. Anyway, it stopped raining here probably about, a couple hours ago. And yesterday when I had put the carrots out, I came out here and I readjusted them, and they started from right about here at the end of this patio stone, and they worked their way out to about here. And when I went to sleep last night, most of them were still there, although there had been a rabbit eating at them. When I woke up this morning, they were completely gone. There is absolutely no sign anywhere of yesterday's carrots. So as I mentioned before, what I'm planning on doing is working the rabbits out to the bird feeder, because that's where I want to, have everything set up this winter. So now I'm going to start the carrots a little further out. And of course, it's pretty obvious what I'm trying to do here. Okay, we'll go as far as this thing this time. Oh, and by the way, these milk containers on there, it's just so that at night when people are walking through here, they'll see this thing and they won't trip over it, because as I've mentioned before, people walk through here. Anyway, we'll just see what happens here now. We'll check this in the morning, and I did go on. I did check the surveillance camera later this afternoon, and I did see rabbits in the night vision, coming. At least a rabbit. I can't see the one rabbit eating all those carrots, but maybe it did. Anyway, that's the plan. Now for step 3. This is where we left off yesterday. But this morning when I went to set up to get ready for today's video, the New York mug was still on the model table, but wait till you see what was swimming in the, not swimming, but wait till you see what was in my coffee cup. And then we'll continue on with the electric drill. Now we are looking down into yesterday's coffee cup, and a little fruit fly flew into it. I left it sitting out on the table overnight. And and I was kind of wondering, why would the fly into the liquid? And then I realized that it probably sees the light reflected off of the surface of the coffee, and then what it does is it will fly into it because it thinks it's flying up into light. That's the only thing I can think of here. Anyway, needless to say, I won't be taking a sip from Jonathan's cup here. Jonathan, the fly was not in there when I got it, don't worry. Anyway, yeah. Okay, enough about a fly. Now, I was going to throw this out, and then I thought, you know what? Why don't we save it? You know, these pieces that we're saving for our sprue pen? Well, maybe some blue might look good mixed in. Yeah. Okay, we're at the place now where we need some of these pieces. In fact, it looks like we need most of them, if not all of them, for step 3, that is. And I'm just going to go ahead and nip them all off. I don't think there's any danger of getting them mixed up because they are, you know, distinctively different from each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I don't think this is supposed to come off. I think that's part of it. No, please don't expect me to start putting in outtakes, but I thought I'd just throw this one in. Well, it seems that every time I push record lately, well, not every time, but quite often, there'll be a fire truck going down the street. I can tell by the sound of it, it's only about 2 blocks away. I think I pretty much know where it is. Okay, now we're back to today. It really is Friday. Okay, now, about, I guess going on 3-4 hours ago now, I was reading my comments, and one of the comments went like this. That the person was finding, well, I'm going to thunk it down so that you can read it so you can get it right, because sometimes when I quote somebody, I don't always quote them properly. But the idea was that he was thinking of getting one of these Tamiya drills because arthritis in his fingers was really bothering him. And I was thinking when I was previewing yesterday's video, and I was thinking how awkwardly I am doing things, and why is that? Like, it was taking me a way too long to snap this together. It just should have just almost fallen into place, but I was fumbling with it and messing around, and I was watching myself and thinking, Ron, what's wrong with you? And then I was realizing that the arthritis in my fingers is making things awkward. So I can relate to any of you who are, got this problem, and those of you who don't, you just don't understand. But maybe one day you will. Now, what I'm going to try to do here, and this may not always work out, but I'm going to try and have the camera at such an angle that there is a place in the screen, you might say, of unimportance. In other words, everything of importance is right down the lower part of the screen, and the upper part of the screen, like where the clock is right now looking in my monitor, I can superimpose the manual, at least part of the manual. For instance, it's my intention that you will be able to see this area as clear as I can. And I think that we are supposed to start at the top and do this before we do this. That sort of makes sense to me, because I can quite well imagine that if I was to put something on out of sequence, it's not going to, I'm going to have to take it off again later. Now, not that that's going to be a big problem, because as near as I can tell, there is nothing in this build that requires any kind of glue at all. I don't think anyway. All right, so it looks to me like we have to take this piece here and put it in. Does it go in here like this? Yeah, I think it just drops in there like that. Does it go right through? Oh, I see what happens. This is sort of what comes through as a little button on the other side, and the idea is you. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll bet you this is the locking mechanism for locking the chuck so that you can tighten it up. Okay, you know, this thing is very well thought out for almost you might say a toy. I was thinking I could get one of these for my grandson for his birthday, but maybe he's just a little bit too little yet. On the other hand, we'll talk to his dad and see what he thinks. Where are we here? Okay, so now we need this spring. Now, should I maybe be repositioning the camera here so we sort of zoomed in? I think I'm just going to reposition here and zoom in on this. Okay, we've got our spring on. And next is this thing here. So what keeps that from popping back out? It's probably okay. Am I supposed to press this down into place here? It doesn't say that in the instructions. It's just well, it's kind of staying there, so I'm wondering, is that a friction fit? And I'm just supposed to, you know, I'm looking at the instructions here, and this is part of what they call the shaft stopper. Yeah, I think it's just supposed to press down, and it just basically stays there. And I imagine then when you put the rest of it together, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what you do. You press it down, and it's a friction fit. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be all right. Okay, so we got that right. Now, let's move on here. I'm just going to put the camera on pause. Okay, now it wants us to take B6, which is this one here, and B4, and we have to screw them together, so I guess we got to open our little package here. Okay, nothing in there, throw that out. And what kind of screw do we need here? I'm pretty sure it's that one right there. And it doesn't show that there's a washer on it. Is that a screw? Yeah. Now I'm noticing that this is kind of keyed. Yeah. Okay, so this has to go a particular way. Alright. I hope I'm holding this right for you. So, put this, checking the manual here. I know there's going to be a lot of pausing and humming and hawing. No, whoops. And there'll be lots of whoopses, I'm sure. Okay, I'm trying to hold it like this. Yeah, lock. Okay, so that goes like that. And then this one here, it appears that Yeah, that seems to be right. Now get that screw. Remember I was talking about the arthritis? Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure we got that correct. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my small Phillips. Now, these screws are probably not the best quality, so I don't want to accidentally start chewing out the... let me check the monitor. Am I holding it so you can see it? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's probably not as far as it could go there. Should go maybe just a little further. I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the screwdriver and just tighten it up. I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll show you afterwards. Okay, it was a little bit tight, and for a minute there I thought possibly I'd put it together wrong. But yeah, it's working all right. All right, let's move on. I do believe we're done with this section right here. And I was noticing afterwards, I'm always noticing these things afterwards, that the screws, it gave the size of screw we need. Like for instance, we're going to need this one right here. So this is 2 by 12 millimeter. Well, I'm pretty good at judging sizes, and being as that this is the only one that's even close that's left, it's got to be this one. What are these for? I guess we'll find out as we move along. Okay, let's recompose here and see what we can do. Now, you're going to think this is kind of stupid of me, but I'm doing a lot of stupid things lately. And I was looking for this part right here. And I'm looking for something plastic that looks like this. And then finally I have presence of mind to follow the thing down. Well, it's called a bushing. And I'm thinking, well, do they mean these things over here? And I thought, well, that's not going to fit. And then I thought, well, a bushing, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's this right here. I mean, what can be more of a bushing than a bushing, right? Okay, so we got our bushing. And it has to go on this screw, which apparently has a washer, probably one of the smaller washers, I would think. Makes sense to me. Anyway, let's just recompose here. Now our bushing goes right there. And the screw, of course, is going to go down through it and hold it on. And this piece right here goes on top of it like this. But I'm noticing that I've got a little bit of flashing here. I'm going to try and just remove that if I can. If I can get my knife in there just right. You know what? Maybe I've got this at just the wrong angle here. I'm going to just twist it around. Okay, I'm hoping you can still see it. I know I should be able to cut that off. There. Okay, time is marching on here. And this morning my laptop has been processing the sunrise. Now, when my NVR records the video files, it doesn't put them in one big file. It puts them quite often in a whole bunch of little files. For those of you who are camera buffs, you going to be kind of interested in that. And the sunrise this morning was in about 27 different separate files, some short, some long. So my laptop has been putting those all together into a video, and I want to go and check that out now. I've been here at the model table now for a while. You'd think to yourself, well, Ron, you got practically nothing done. What do you mean you've been sitting there for a while? Well, I'm slow. Anyway, I'm going to go check that out. Where am I going with this? Well, I guess I'm going to the computer room and check it out. Now this is the actual color. I did not enhance it in Photoshop. The only change I made was I sped it up 120 times. Well, that was another really nice sunrise, wasn't it? Okay. Now, if this piece is supposed to go on, let's see, I guess it goes on this way, over top of this piece, then clearly this piece has to go on first. And, speaking of sunrises, I'm noticing that they are moving over, and where they actually break the horizon is changing almost noticeably every day. It's more and more to the right, in other words. All right, I'm going to have to recompose here. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to do on camera, but we'll give it a whirl. And I do want to keep track of the time here. I have been having a bad habit lately of letting it go and trying to think just one more shot, and then all of a sudden I realize it's time for the final edit, and I don't really have enough time. And I'm feeling a little bit, you might say, rushed, uptight. Yeah, anyway, let's just relax. This is supposed to be fun, right? I tried. Okay, I think I got it. The bushing goes up into this part, you can see there. Now, I think I should be able to get this on here. I might have to do this off camera. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this off camera, folks. Okay, I just want to get this screw started, and then we'll get everything into place, because it should be enough play here. The spring has to go in that hole. Oh, let's wait a minute here. This part is supposed to go okay, so that goes in there, and then this one here will go on this side here. I had it. What happened? Okay, now maybe I should have run the screw down just a little bit more. Okay, now this has to go, come on. Maybe I'll run the screw down just a little bit further. Yeah, that's supposed to go like that. Okay, you know, these are supposed to be Phillips screws, but this Phillips screwdriver doesn't seem to want to fit in there, but looking at it closely, it almost looks like it could be a slotted screw, like a flathead. Maybe I should try one of my jeweler screws. It doesn't want to work too good either. I'm going to have to tighten this up off camera. You know what? I just realized I made a mistake here. This piece here was supposed to go on. So I'm going to have to back that screw back up and somehow get this underneath there. See which way was it supposed to go? Was it supposed to go like this? Yeah, this pin is supposed to go in this hole. The old fingers just do not want to work. Okay, so if that goes in like that, and then this is supposed to go on top. Oh my goodness. You know, I am having fun, folks. Believe it or not, I am having fun here. But you know, I think I'm going to wind this video up and we'll continue on in the next episode. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.